Welcome to the Intuitive Hour with psychic medium, author, and intuitive life coach, Michelle Beltran. The Intuitive Hour will empower you to learn how to magnify your intuitive voice. Listen in and expand your understanding of what it means to be psychic and how to awaken, amplify, and trust your inner voice.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. This is the Intuitive Hour. Awaken your inner voice. We're talking today about the power of the rose. This is an essential part of your psychic toolbox, and I'm just so delighted to begin this episode with you today. I think you're going to find it most helpful. This episode is inspired by Katie, a listener of the Intuitive Hour. Katie emailed and mentioned that she really appreciated the episode on the separation rose and wondered if there were other roses that might be useful in psychic development work, and it turns out that there are. So, we're going to talk a little bit about the power of the rose first. Then we'll segue into the various types of roses you can use in your psychic development, spiritual development, energy balancing, meditation work, prayer, and so forth. So, to begin, the rose, as I've mentioned, is an incredibly powerful psychic tool. It's used to clear old, stuck, lingering energy from your space that is no longer serving you. It also could be the environment around you or your current situation that needs an energy shift. So you can use this tool to assist you in that as well. All right, so the energy rose creates balance. It creates freedom in the body. We use the rose as a way to gather up energies from, as I mentioned, other people, the environment around you, or even within you. As the rose clears out energy that is not yours or is foreign, as we sometimes refer to it as, there's now room for new perspective, new clarity, and healing. You have a clear understanding of your space and others' space. Remember, only your pure positive essence is ever allowed in your space, and this tool ensures that. Your energy boundary begins here. Theirs begins over there. The boundaries are clear. This is an essential tool to maintain your clear energy space. So when do we use this rose as a tool in our psychic development? Typically, that's done during prayer or meditation to release and move energies or to open up space to receive information, images, and impressions more clearly and accurately during readings or healings or any kind of energy work you might be involved in. Just like we use the fundamental psychic tools of grounding, running energy, neutrality, prayer of protection, and so forth, we use the rose as an important element of our psychic toolbox. As a side note, this very powerful tool was actually created by Louis Bostwick, who is the founder and creator of Berkeley Psychic Institute. And so, what is lingering low energy or foreign energy? For sure, we need to take a look at that and identify that low energy that we want to get rid of. Essentially, it's any energy that is not your own. For example, other people's opinions, their emotions, their judgments or expectations. None of that is your energy. Often, people not realizing it project energetically onto us their own preconceived notions or experiences or information that's tethered to their life story and their journey. That's also not your energy, it's theirs. Remember that events, energy from the environment, and the place around us matters. So do be mindful of your present environmental situation, where you live, or who's around you. The setting, it all does matter. So, using the rose as an energy tool, you can actually clear out and release whatever energy is not your own, even if you don't know what that exact energy is. You might just have a sense that something's off. That's your indication. Time to release this stuck, lingering energy. It will just release through the rose work. And remember also that daily energy balancing through grounding, running energy, staying in neutrality, all of the other fundamental psychic development tools will also support you in positive energy balance. Before we begin talking about the various types of roses that you can use, let's revisit some simple steps to create a rose. This work can be done as you awaken in the morning, before stepping out of bed, in the moment of the situation that you're in, or as you rest your head in the evening falling asleep or in meditation. There's no golden rule to when exactly to use this. I do recommend first thing in the morning. So it's quite simple, 5 steps. First, imagine a vibrant, colorful rose out in front of you. See it in your mind's eye, about an arm's reach away, and make it any color you desire, whatever color feels right. Imagine, as step 2, that rose is as tall and wide as you. Next, ground the rose to the center of the earth. Give it a grounding cord. In the same way that you ground yourself or you know how to ground others, you'll do this for the rose. You might revisit the grounding episode here at the Intuitive Hour if you feel like you want to take a look at those steps again for grounding. Allow that grounding cord to go all the way to the center of the earth. And don't worry about where the center of the earth is. Your rose knows. Just let that happen. Next, really take a close look at the colors and the petals and the stem and even the thorns of the rose. Really visualize it with absolute clarity. And it may be helpful to actually have a rose. Look at that rose out in your garden or outside your home. Really study and look at a rose before you do this exercise. And finally, we want you to state your intention out loud to the rose as you begin the work. For example, depending on what kind of rose you are working with at the moment, if it's a protection rose, you might say, I'm creating a psychic protection rose. This is designed to keep my pure positive essence in my space and others in their own space. So set forth a clear intention that you say out loud. Now then, everyone, let's begin with our types of roses. First, communication roses. These are roses to put between you and another person during a conversation. That conversation will be filtered through the rose. You can use this for phone conversations, when you're in person with someone, or in this day and age, when you're on a Zoom call or even a FaceTime. So this rose will allow for pure positive communication, understanding and hearing one another with clarity, and again, allowing for balance in energy space where their energy stays in their space and yours in your space without being affected by their stories and judgments or opinions, and you also doing the same for them. The truth from a lie rose. You'll put up a rose here and ask a question. If the answer is truth, the rose will flourish or get bigger and brighter. If the rose appears to wither or gets black, the answer would be a non-truth or a lie. These can also be used during a conversation to see if another person is being honest. When you're done with this rose or any rose work, as with the separation rose that we've already talked about here at the Intuitive Hour, you simply just ask that the rose absolve into the sky above and watch as it goes right where it needs to. A parking space rose. You can send this rose out ahead of you, ahead of your destination, when you know that you may need to create a space to park somewhere. Interestingly enough, this does work. I encourage you to give it a try. In the 5 or 10 minutes before you arrive at your destination, just send out that rose and an intention with it that a parking space will be available for you as you arrive in just the right place. A rose to own a room. This could be a presentation you're going to give. You're needing to perform or speak. Or you're just visiting others in a setting, group setting in a room or area out on a patio, and you want to create balance. You can put out a rose to own a room. In this case, you want to put roses in all of the corners of the location and one in the center of the room. Imagine those roses. They could all be different colors or one. It's up to you. Ground the rose that's in the center of the room and put gold lines, energy lines or cords, from the 8 corner roses to the center rose. Pull the corner roses into the center rose and then pull them all into the center of the planet, grounding them. And some of us are what I like to call color people. We really respond to color energy around us. So if this is you, you can set a rose to the color of the room. Colors are significant. Yellows and blues and pinks, purples. They have an energy to them. Purple is one of the most spiritual colors out there. So if you're going to be somewhere where you would like to be in an essence of spirituality and enhance the room using color, you can do that as well. In this case, you put a rose in the center of the room, set it in the color you want, then expand the rose to fill up the room in that color, and remember to ground the rose. Roses to ground your car. I like to do this often. I put roses on all 4 tires, or you can put one rose in the center of your vehicle, ground it to the center of the earth. This keeps you safe and aware when you're driving. A final rose that you might like is called Hello Roses. This is a rose that you can use to send a hello energetically to someone else. Now, create the rose. Remember, you'll set the intention for the hello rose in whatever words you'd like to use, and then you watch as that rose goes to that other person. Now, don't go with the rose. Stay right where you are. You don't need to go with it. You just create the rose, send a hello, and then send it off. This can be used when you're wanting to just send a message of, I'm thinking about you, or perhaps when you want to speak with the person and communicate for some reason or another. You can sort of spiritually nudge conversation along using this wonderful hello rose. All right, there you have it, everyone. We will bring our episode to a close. We've added now to your psychic toolbox the power of the rose and some various roses you can use in your work to maintain energy balance, releasing of low energy, being mindful of foreign energies and how to release them. There are indeed a number of different roses you can use. Today I've mentioned some of the most popular. If you want to explore this tool more, learn about meditation or more psychic development, be sure to sign up for my newsletter at michellebeltran.com, and then you can also visit the website course offerings page to see what I'm offering regarding tools, tips, and techniques to help you in your psychic development. Okay, have a wonderful rest of your week, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the Intuitive Hour. If you like what you heard, we invite you to subscribe, rate, and review at Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen in.